Hello everybody, my name is Marlowe and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Survival, where in the last episode we built what I'm currently stood on top of right now, which is a giant frog with a witch farm inside of it. And in between episodes I've been doing some AFKing and I have a good supply of redstone now. We got 6 stacks here and then a little bit more in this top chest. Today we are finally getting out of the swamp biomes. We've been here doing some 1.19 stuff over in the mangrove swamp and of course this thing behind me. Today we're heading back to the base to start a brand new project. Well, actually it's just beside the base. Everything we built is in this general area. We are going to be starting something just over this cliff right here, as you can see, on this little peninsula. And I don't want to say too much about what it is. I'm going to keep that under wraps for now and let it be a bit of a secret because obviously we're going to be working on this for at least a few episodes. But today is just kind of all about preparing for it. Most of the prep work that we're going to do in this episode is resource collecting. It's a really big build, so I've got a lot of materials to gather. Some of them are easier to get hold of than others. There are 5 main blocks that I need to get in big quantities. We need some spruce wood, we need some calcite blocks, we need a lot of deep slate, we need the new mud bricks, and lastly, the one I'm really not looking forward to, mangrove wood. So the first 4 shouldn't be too difficult at all really, but the mangrove wood is gonna take a little while, and I think I need like a double chest full of logs, so yeah, you can only imagine how long that is gonna take. Thankfully, I've got an idea of how I could get quite a lot of logs fairly quickly. Originally, I was going to build a mangrove tree farm. I had a look around on YouTube for some designs or tutorials that people have made, and there were like 2, both of them really complicated in the redstone department, and I knew that just wasn't going to be happening for me. I don't know redstone well enough. So then I took to my test world trying to figure out the most efficient way to chop down mangrove trees, and I think I've come up with something. Now I should say this method is not going to be clean. There's actually going to be a lot of mangrove tree residue left behind, and that's because I'm not actually going to be chopping down every single log. So the idea is that I get this line of mangrove propagules and then I bone meal them all up, and then you're left with this mess, which looks like hell on earth to try and chop down. But thankfully there's actually quite a big cluster of logs all in a straight line. Now obviously I won't be doing this in my survival world, this is just for the sake of the video so I'm able to show you this, but if I go ahead and get rid of all of the mangrove leaves, like that, as you can see, there is quite a lot of them right in the center here, and they all kind of sprout off to the side with not that many logs. I don't think it would be worth it, but there is a bit of a pattern here. I could get them if I wanted to, but my plan is to basically just start here and chop through the middle. So then I get maybe 75% of the logs and I just leave the branches here hanging left somewhere far away in my world. Obviously, that's quite an important point. I'm not going to be doing this anywhere near my base. I'm going to go far away and somewhere I will hopefully never visit again, so I never have to see the scar that I'm destined to leave behind. Maybe not the prettiest, but I think it might just be the quickest. So to get things underway here, the first thing we are going to be doing is going on the resource grind. This is gonna take me ages, I can't lie. It's going to be a very short amount of time for you guys, but for me, it's gonna be a little bit longer. You know what? That wasn't too bad. Of course, the first 4 resources that we had to collect were pretty easy going, nothing too strenuous. The mangrove wood did take quite a long time, but it was nowhere near as painful as I thought it was going to be. I actually got in quite a good rhythm. I actually recorded a quick clip whilst I was chopping down all of the mangrove trees just to kind of show you the process I was taking, so here is that. I'm beginning to think I might have just cracked how to efficiently sort of farm the mangrove trees. So as you can see, I'm doing the whole usual thing of growing the big row of the trees, and then I'm going to the center of the row where I planted them, going all the way up to the top and kind of going along like this. As you can see, I've got my axe and my hoe on number 1 and 2, so I can quickly switch between, and I just go down one level at a time, and I can even grab the couple that are like really close to it. So yeah, if you're looking to grab a whole bunch of mangrove all at once, this might be the best way to do it. So in these shulker boxes are all of the bulk items that we're going to be using, but of course that's not it. There are going to be some other items, sort of like the miscellaneous stuff, some odds and sods that aren't really in that high of a quantity. So I thought, let me just gather everything I need, then come next episode we can just get right on with building. There is something quite satisfying about laying out and preparing all of the resources you're going to need for a build before starting it. Obviously these aren't to the exact quantities needed, I've rounded some of them up, but yeah, that is everything good to go for next episode. Well, in regards to resource collecting, that is, we've still got some other things to take care of. The next thing we're going to work on is kind of preparing the land over here, because of course a lot of these trees are currently in the way. We need to get rid of them, we need to flatten the terrain a little bit, and just generally clean things up. There's also going to be a mud brick base to the build that we're going to be doing, so I think I might get that in position too. Can we get a trident? Can we get a trident? I would like another one that has channeling on, please. Oh, we got it! Sweet! Okay, awesome. I've now got a Riptide and the ability to get a channeling trident. Awesome. And so it is back to the grind I go. So there is my mud brick box, looking rather plain if I do say so myself. We will be adding texture and other bits of detail in there next episode, but for now I just kind of want to get the general shape in place. I also brought down the floor a little bit in the middle here, just in case I ever want to add in a basement of some sort. Then I don't have to go through the pain of setting up a beacon again and then digging more. I thought I'd just get it all done in one go. The next and final thing we're going to be doing on this build for today's episode is building the pillars and the roof outline. That way we got the kind of general shape in place, and you guys will be able to see the vast size of what we're going to be creating next episode. Pretty big, right? Yeah, it is quite the size. I look tiny up here, but this is the size of the building that we are going to be making. So next episode is going to be another time-consuming one, I think, because this is not going to be just a plain old house. There's quite a lot of detail added into here. I did realize partway through building this that I actually messed up on the front part of the base here when I was building that. It is kind of going to go inwards a little bit here in the middle, but I'm just going to fix all of that next episode. There's not much point in doing it right now. Something I would like to do right now is get rid of that eyesore, our ruined portal, which honestly is kind of a cool location for it. But that was before we started building here. I don't want this to stay. Plus, we're actually going to have a big bridge leading to the build, and that's going to get right in the way of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove that from existence. There we go. That's looking a lot cleaner with the portal gone. We are now ready to move on to the next thing in today's episode, which may actually give away what this building is going to be. I won't say too much, but you're probably going to be able to infer from what I'm about to say. We are going to be building a villager breeder. And I know what you may be thinking. Hang on a second, you already have one of those in your world. And yes I do. It's up here, and I actually got a rail line that leads the bred up villagers, the little babies, down into this holding platform where I should have a few. and a pig. But I'm going to need to get quite a lot of villagers inside of that building. You can see where I'm going with this, can't you? I won't say anyway, just in case some of you don't know and you want it to be a surprise. But I need a lot of villagers moved inside of the building. So having to cart them all the way from over here, past the render distance there, on even further, it's just going to be not worth the effort. So I'm going to take a few of these guys, move them on over, and probably just build the same villager breeder, and that way it'll make the moving process of those villagers a whole lot easier. Here is the villager breeder, looking gorgeous as always. This is the same design as the other one over there. It's from Zinji. I'll try and remember to leave a link in the description down below for it. Of course, we are missing the villagers, so I now have to move them in position. Not before, of course, building a giant rail line from here all the way to over here. It is times like this where I'm so grateful for the new Swiftseek enchantment. Look how fast I'm going. It is going to make this process so much quicker. And just the last few rails leading on inside the train station, and we are all connected up and ready to go. This actually leads through to the holding pen just inside the mountain. So we have two villagers that now have to go on a very, very long minecart ride. They should have lots of fun. I'm kind of jealous, honestly. Might have to give it a ride myself. But they'll end up in the top part of the villager breeder here, and then we can get to making some villager babies. I forgot to press the record button. So you missed the first villager getting in position, but that's okay. We need one more so I can show you the fun roller coaster that I've built them. So let's get his friend over here. All we do is push the minecart and it should return with a villager any second. There we go. Simple as that. Having fun? Looking forward to the drop? I sure am. I wish I could ride in there with you. Two-person minecart. That sounds like a fun idea. But for now, it's just you. So I will see you on the other side. Look at him go. He's having the time of his life. Woo! You go, buddy. Look at him. He's so happy. He's just looking at his home like, please don't take me away. And we're coming up to the final stretch down the hill, and he should stop on that block right there. And then we can very simply break the minecart. He pops out to the side and we can drop him in position. So now all we really have to do is give them food and they'll start breeding up the villagers. I got a nice big holding pen at the bottom here so I can make as many as possible in between episodes because we are going to need quite a lot. And I obviously don't really want them to die of entity cramming. So I figured the bigger bigger chamber, the better. But first things first, I'm gonna remove the rail line. It is not gonna be a permanent feature of the world, so let's get rid of that and then give them some carrots or something, I don't know. Whatever I got the most of. Ah, that's a problem. I don't have much of anything. I have some hay bales, but I don't really want to use that because we need hay and wheat for mud bricks. And as you can see, my carrot supplies and my potato supplies are lacking. So I think the best thing to do is to build one of those micro farms. My friends, have I got a treat for you? In fact, I've got 16 stacks of those treats, so I'm going to give all of these to them. Hopefully they don't fall through the gap or I don't pick them up, which I'm currently doing. Okay, there's not a good way to do this. I'm trying to eject quicker than I pick up. Okay, yeah, this isn't happening. We're going to have to take a step back and just throw them a little bit to the side. So there isn't much point in giving them more than 16 stacks as they only have 8 inventory slots in total, but as you can see, it's working nicely. Oh, the carrots, whoops. And we already have a baby. Oh my goodness, that was... Oh, he's just stole 8 stacks of my carrots. Oh, what a little rascal. That's okay. I got plenty from that farm, so I can always get more. So in between episodes, I'm going to keep these guys stocked up on carrots and just breed up as many villagers as possible. Obviously, I don't want to overflow this thing, but we're going to need a rough figure, like maybe 50 villagers-ish, somewhere around there. So yeah, these guys... they got a lot of breeding to do. I'm sure they have lots of fun. Come to think of it, they've actually got an extra week to breed up those villagers, because next episode we're probably going to just work on making this building and finishing it as far as the exterior is concerned, and then the week after we'll do the interior and everything related to the villagers here. So yeah, no rush guys, you got plenty of time. But anyway guys, that is gonna be it for today's episode. I just have one last thing to show you before we say goodbye, and that is our frogs are still alive somehow. They haven't really got that sidetracked. We got 2 there. There were some by the pond. Oh, there's one over there you can see crawling around. And there's supposed to be a 4th, but he actually may have got lost. Okay, I thought I counted 4 earlier, but maybe not. I don't know. They're kind of hard to spot unless they're in the snow. It's alright though, I'm sure they're living their best life out here in the wild, and that's the main thing. That they're enjoying themselves and presumably not dead. I'm just going to assume they're all fine and healthy. Anyway, I hope you've all enjoyed watching this episode. I know it seems like we haven't really done a whole lot, especially when I just stand here and look behind me, because that's everything really. But this project is just too big to get done in a single episode, so I hope you guys don't mind me breaking it up into probably 3. I think 3 is going to be a good number until we can finish this whole build and everything we're doing here. I'm very, very excited, especially to show you this build behind me here when it's all done. It looks cool. Might just be one of my favorite builds I've ever done. Don't want to hype it up too much, but yeah, I'm looking forward to building it next episode. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that one. Thank you for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.